All right, we are live, or so it seems. See? Bra. Sitt. Bra. Så. Titta. Bra. Come. In this video, I want to talk about what it really is like to raise a Belgian Malinois puppy. And it is not easy. That's for sure, you know. I've had a lot of ideas like what I want to sort of talk about in the video. I've been like thinking about many different subjects that relate to the raising of a Belgian Malinois puppy. And now that I'm making the video, it's probably going to be that I forget most of them, because that's usually what happens. Gotta stream live when I get the thought, so I'm gonna try to be more timely next time. But raising this kind of puppy is probably not like the usual thing you would expect when raising a dog puppy. And you have to have a lot of patience with them. They really require a lot of patience. I'll just put my hat on. I'm getting a little cold here. And then there's all the behaviors that go with the breed, because the breed is originally a breed that was used to herd animals. There's naturally a lot of biting, naturally herding behaviors. I mean, and that's not really even the most difficult thing. I'd say that the most difficult thing for anybody thinking of getting a Belgian Malinois puppy is that they need to be supervised pretty much all of the time when they're awake. Unless you have a farm where you can let the puppy run around in an enclosed area with an electric fence, where they can just enjoy themselves, and where you know that it is safe in terms of different everyday life things like electric cords or plastic bottles or plastic glasses or anything else. Shoes. Well, shoes is probably not as bad as plastic, but like anything that a dog may find interesting, they will find interesting too. Come. So probably the most important thing is that you can give the puppy that kind of supervision. If you are raising the puppy anywhere else other than a farm. Should I retake this video? Like, I feel that this is getting really boring. I need to get a flow. I need to get into the talking flow, where I get one idea after the next. And I don't feel like I'm in that flow right now. So I find it hard to sort of effortlessly float through the space of ideas. Come. What the fuck is that? Oh, this is... we're actually at the shooting range. Like, not a gun shooting range, but another type of shooting range. But I don't think there's anybody here right now. It's very little activity at this time of year. Come. I think like even like for an average family that even had dogs before, I think a Malinois would be challenging. I think that it really, like, it doesn't really matter if you had dogs before. It really doesn't, because most dogs are not as high energy, and most dogs are not as good at finding things to mess around with. Most dogs are not as determined to win a fight. Most dogs probably do not use their mouth as much. Like, of course, there's a lot of dogs that like to bite, especially puppies. They always love to bite because of their teeth. But like, I think on an average scale, like, it's really, you get the more intense qualities, or like all the qualities of a real dog, but in a more intense package. Come. So even if somebody had a dog before, then most likely they simply didn't have to deal with these kinds of behaviors at the intensity that you would observe them in this breed. So most probably the person hasn't learned anything, like, because you really have to experience the behaviors and deal with them in order to learn how to deal with them. But probably having a dog before is a good like primer, like for the basic stuff, like potty training, and just gotta know the basic stuff. It makes life easier, of course, but in terms of problem solving, I don't think it really helps that much, because you have to have like a very special approach. You have to know that, for example, if the dog is protecting its stuff and shows signs of fear, then it's not the right thing to do to be offensive in return, because that will just generate more aggression. It is instead important to make the dog realize that there is no need to guard. I've been doing a lot of that stuff with this puppy. The guarding behaviors are very common. Come. She likes to guard things. Before she used to like show that behavior on a lot of different things. Now it's much better because number one, I taught her to not fear when my hands are near. So she no longer feels the need to protect in most cases. And in some cases where she does need to protect, I do not go into offensive. That's very important. Like screaming no to the dog, or like trying to forcefully take the object. At least not in the beginning. Like if the first reaction is to try to forcefully take the object, that's not going to work, because that's going to just create more aggression. And since they're very determined dogs, they don't quit. They don't just give up. So saying good dog, calming down the dog, and then putting the leash on is a very good way to get something that the dog has stolen. Just putting the leash on when the dog is calm, and then taking that object, saying no, and giving her something else to bite at. And then, of course, it's nice to have that behavior as well. Like, eradicating it is not really the point, because it's a natural dog behavior to protect things. It's just that it's better if it's done without fear. Any behavior that's done with fear is going to be very challenging to deal with. So even the simplest things, like cuddling on the sofa, yeah, may not be that simple with a Malinois. Well, that's something that everybody should realize. Like, it's not going to be a dance on roses to raise a puppy like this. It's going to be more like an advanced course in psychology, in ability to influence behavior, in ability to apply different forms of behavioral therapy on a dog in terms of psychology. And you have to be willing to learn that. You have to be willing to read as many books as you can find, or like listen to as many trainers as you can find, whose methods mesh with your personality. That's important. I think it's not right to just blindly follow somebody's techniques, because it's not the techniques that are important, it's the reasons behind the techniques. So in some situations it's the right thing to do to just say no in a forceful way. In other situations it's not the right thing to do, and it's kind of down to the feeling which technique is the right technique in every moment. So you have to be smarter than the dog. That's another criteria I think that is important to fulfill to raise a puppy like this. If you're not smarter than the dog, then you cannot control the dog. If you are smarter than the dog, you can kind of try to predict what will happen next. So now she's gonna walk around, then she's gonna look back at me, then she's gonna come back here. If she sees a rabbit, she may run after it, and I'm gonna say no. And she did not see a rabbit. She's scouting the area. I mean, I'm not even saying that I'm good at reading her. I'm just doing my best, of course. I'm doing my best to, in every situation, to try to gauge what is going to happen next. And it doesn't always work. I'm not saying I'm some kind of Einstein at this, but in a lot of situations I find it to be a good strategy to try to just go with the flow. And they do require a lot of stimulation. Running around, playing, biting. Like these videos that I'm currently doing, like it's not even everything that I would say is necessary to do with a puppy like this. It's not just exercising physically and mentally, they have to also satisfy their need for play, like for physical play. Playing tug, playing little games like letting the dog have the ball, then have the dog roll the ball to you, and then roll the ball back. Like all of that takes time. So in terms of time consumption, they really do take a lot of time. At least in the puppy stage. Because there is so many things to learn, so many new situations to experience, so many things to correct. Let's see if I can get through this. Like this is really dense forest. Or maybe it's not really dense, but it's at least dense enough to kind of have to find my way through this forest. I'm gonna go down here. Like one of the best descriptions that I've found for how should you think if you're gonna get yourself a Belgian Malinois is that you have to sort of live for training the dog. I think even if that is exaggeration, I think it rings true in so many ways that really, like everything that you do with the dog is kind of training. Stop! Vänta. Bra. I'm gonna go and see what we get down here. Come. I don't think there is a road here. I think it's just woods. Oh, there is actually a small road there. We're gonna take this road. Alice, come! Okay, finally, we don't have to deal with branches and trees. Finally, I can just walk calmly. Oh, interesting. A little bridge. I think that for an average person, it's so easy to go mad when dealing with a puppy like this. Everybody's like, oh, such a cute puppy. Such a cute puppy, I want to take it home. And they don't know what it means to have a puppy like this. They don't understand the amount of supervision a puppy like this needs. And they go like, oh, such a good dog, so nice at playing with my dog. I really want to have a dog like that. And they don't know how much time goes into socialization, into having the dog in different situations where the dog can learn how to deal with other dogs. Yeah, so that's pretty much like the amount of time that is necessary to put into training these dogs, even if it's like not formal training, but just exposing them to different situations. It's really something to consider when getting a Belgian Malinois puppy. Look, she's just walking behind me. Really nice. Really nice. I like this a lot. Very nice. And therefore I think it's very important that one can take the dog to work and take the dog pretty much everywhere where you go. Let the dog be in the same everyday environment as the environment where you spend most of your time. I bet this video is gonna get a lot of dislikes because I'm kind of like, I feel like I've gone through all the good subjects and I had them in the perfect order, and then it's always like that when try to start from the beginning, it never becomes as good as the original flow. So what else is important to mention about raising a Belgian Malinois puppy? I'm gonna keep filming actually, because maybe I come up with some more good ideas. Let's see. I kind of saw that comment, but I have to bring up the comment pane. You really need to work to be self-employed or working like a farmer to be able to give all the time the dog needs. I totally agree. I think it's very important to think about that, to consider that when you buy a Belgian Malinois puppy. And I fit into the category of being self-employed. So for me, it's easy to take the dog everywhere where I go, at least to as many places as possible. And being a farmer is even better because, as I said in the beginning of the video, then you can just let the dog run around in an enclosed area where the dog can get all the stimulation in terms of exploring the environment that it needs. And then you can do training. I mean, it still doesn't mean that you don't train the dog. You still have to train the dog, but it's a lot less supervision necessary for the owner if the owner has a farm. If you don't have a farm, then you have to go through all this supervision that's necessary to keep the dog safe, to keep the dog from like eating cables and eating electronics and eating different other things like little plastic toys. A lot of fun, but not good for a dog. And like, if anybody has seen a video, there's a lot of videos actually, and they're usually called like Belgian Malinois, the master of the jump. And that is a very good video, because that's exactly what's going to happen when you're going to sit on your sofa and the dog has just eaten, and the dog feels like, oh, I want to get some more energy used up. And the dog will run at full speed and make a huge leap and jump right at you in an effort to kind of start a game. But it can be a little unsettling if the person does not expect that kind of thing to happen. So they love to jump. They love to play. A lot of play is about biting, which is good for a working dog. Biting is good for a working dog, but a lot of people have very low threshold for biting. Like, it's really like when somebody says like, the dog bit me, what does that actually mean? Like, even if the dog takes and just uses this play, the really not strong at all, like a play bite, and some people can still call it a bite. It becomes a little difficult to categorize biting, but they bite a lot. They love to bite. So playing bite games is important to get that need satisfied. And I cannot imagine an average, like, what is an average? Okay, like an average, let's say there are people who are really into dog training and there are people who are really not into dog training, and then you have something in the middle, like the majority of families that have dogs. Like, I don't imagine the average family playing anything close to like Schutzhund like, you know, with the sleeve, with the like real bite work. And then what's likely going to happen is that the dog will get bored and really would want to bite things, and the dog will do more nipping at people, at children, at anybody, just because the dog wants to play. Like, you can be mad at the dog for doing that. It's because the dog wants to play, and if the dog doesn't get that play drive satisfied, then it's going to lead to problems. So unless you're passionate about like playing with the dog a lot, doing the bite play, playing the bite games, then you're not going to satisfy that need. So anybody that looks at the puppy and says, oh, such a cute puppy, like, that gets me a little unsettled, because I can imagine that a lot of people think that way about these dogs, but they have to realize that there is a lot of work involved into training one of these and keeping them safe and keeping other people safe as well. What else? What else? Alice, här. I feel like I'm gonna lose all of my subscribers if I continue being this boring. I really need to, let's see, I have to bring that up again. The comments disappear too fast. Have you done some hide and search training? Let's see. Like, come on. Like let the dog find things by smell. Yes, I have done things like finding the ball. I can do it here. I'm just gonna throw my stuff there, and I'm gonna take out the ball. And I usually like try to rub the ball on the claws and just make it a little easier to find. And we can just walk a little way around here, and I'm gonna drop the ball somewhere where the dog does not see. Let's see, come. And then we can see if the dog finds the ball. Så, fortsätt. Spring. So I'm gonna throw the ball there. And so I'm gonna just continue walking. And I'm gonna give her the command to find the ball. And we'll see if she can find the ball. Maybe I will need to like show her a little bit or guide her a little bit to the location. We'll see. So maybe this is enough. Let's see. Alice. Hitta bollen. Hitta bollen. Kom igen. Hitta bollen. Var är bollen? Hitta bollen. Var är bollen? Hitta bollen. Kom igen. Hitta bollen. Var är bollen? She is searching. Question is if she will find the ball. So she's trying to track the steps back now. I think. I don't know if she can actually feel the smell of the ball somehow. Let's see. She's very close. Hitta bollen. Var är bollen? She went just past it. Var är bollen? Hitta bollen. So the ball is... Oh, where is the ball? Oh, the ball is right there. The ball is like behind the branches there. She found my glove. Okay. I should have taken my glove with me. Because now she found my glove and she found the wheel. Not the ball. Kom. Ta den. Hämta. Bra. Så, loss. Kom. Alice. Kom. We just let the wheel be there and see if she can find the ball. Alice. Kom. Hitta bollen. Kom igen. Hitta bollen. And she went past it again. I'm not gonna show her just yet where the ball is. Alice, hitta bollen. Var är bollen? Hitta bollen. Var är bollen? Bra jobbat, vad duktig du är. Jätteduktig tjej, bra jobbat. She found the ball. That's how I play the hide and seek games. I haven't been doing too much tracking after the snow fell down here, but probably should be doing a little more. It's nice to get that down when she's young, so she's familiar with doing it. But she does tracking anyway, you know, like she tracks other dogs, and that means like really putting the nose down in every step, because that's what they look for when in competitive tracking. So she does that with dog steps. I have to make her do that with my steps as well, and with just any kind of steps, putting the nose down into the steps. What else do you want to see? Just comment on the video and tell me what else you want to see. Maybe she'll take my glove, and then I'll have to practice the outs. Although she's not very interested in my glove right now. Hämta bollen. Ta bollen. Bra. Så, stopp. Stopp. Bra. Loss. 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 Bra. Bra. Titta. Titta. Alice. Alice, hämta bollen. Hämta bollen. Kom. Alice, loss. 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 Bra. Vänta. Sitt. Bra. Jättebra. Titta. Titta. Bra. Duktig tjej. Ta bollen. I'm going to continue walking. I'll see if I come up with anything else. The theme of the video is what it is like to raise a Belgian Malinois puppy. So I want to keep to that theme. And doing a lot of exercises is one part of raising a Belgian Malinois puppy. Like, it's really necessary to do both obedience, search, and protection. The way I feel, at least, to sort of address all the needs of this kind of dog, and to have the dog learn how to control the different types as well. I usually make these videos about an hour long, so technically I have another half an hour I can just film. For no good reason, actually, just because I think 1 hour long is pretty much like a good length for a video. I definitely have to learn how to fill those videos with more content. I know that. For now, I'm just going to continue filming. Come on, cute little puppy. Stopp. 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 Så, bra. Nej, nej, lugnt, lugnt, lugnt. Kom. 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 Also something to experience for a dog. Come. Sit. Sit. Alice, sit. Sit. Vänta. Vänta. Bra. A jogger. We don't chase joggers. They're not fun to play with. Alice, come. 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 think that getting a solid groundwork in obedience really helps. And I'm not even saying I'm really good at that, but I also do my best there. And I think that anything in terms of, like, the more obedient the dog is, the easier it becomes to handle the dog. So I can tell her to wait, and she'll usually wait. It's still not like really perfect, but she's 5 months, and a lot of things are really fun to explore, particularly things that move. So it can sometimes get a little harder, but I try to be as consistent as I can at teaching her not to chase things, not to chase after rabbits, not to chase after joggers or cyclists. And I also try to expose her to those things as much as possible. But as I've shown it in some other videos, which were not sent live, recorded videos, where I do some exercises for obedience. Wait is very nice, very useful command. Var är bollen? She lost the ball, so now she has to find the ball. Come on, where's the ball? Don't just lose the ball. Bra, hämta bollen. Bra. Ta bollen. Ta bollen. Här. Ta bollen. Bra, kom. Alice, kom. Kom. Så. Loss. Loss, bra. Alice, kom. Låt bli, kom. Så. Vänta. Kom. Kom här. Kom. Kom. Loss. Let's see. Alice, come. I want just her to come, not bring the ball back. Come. Loss. I put the ball in my pocket. Alice, come. Come. Alice, come. Bra. Sitt. Bra. Duktig du är. Så, kom. Kom. Runt. Kom. Alice, kom. 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 Bra. Bra. Vänta. Titta. Ligg. 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 Bra. Sitt. Sitt. Alice. Alice. Upp. Sitt. 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 Come on. You're so good at that. We do it indoors. What's up with doing it outdoors? Come. Come. Vänta. Sitt. Bra. Ligg. Ligg. Bra. Sitt. Sitt. Upp. 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 Sitt. Sitt. Bra. Kom. Bra. Kom. Bra. Fortsätt. Kom. 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 Bra. Stopp. Sitt. Bra. Kom. Vänta. Bra. Kom. Stopp. Sitt. Bra. Sitta. Bra. Kom. Titta. Alice. Stopp. Titta. Ta den. Ta bollen. Kom. So in the end, should you really get one of these puppies? I'd say don't get them if you just think that they're cute. Ta bollen. Get them if you know that you can give the dog the exercise and mental stimulation that it needs. And if you're just serious about being ready to handle all of the problem behaviors that you will encounter, guaranteed, with a dog like this. If you're not careful, you'll get more problem behaviors. If you're careful, you're gonna get the normal amount of problem behaviors, which is probably still more than with a normal puppy like some Labrador or Poodle or something else. It's still gonna be a little more challenging, but it's fun. I like challenges. Low battery warning. YouTube takes all my battery. Low battery again. Looks like I have to charge my phone. Is there a charger somewhere here? I don't think so. So I really have to stop this video now. And I hope I haven't bored you too much. It's always better if you like subscribe and then ask questions while I'm filming. It's easy to answer them. But otherwise, until next time, bye.